Good day, YouTube. Niagara Gunfighter here with another gunfighter tip. Today it's the Ruger LCP in 380. Pretty good little backup handgun or deep concealment. Spare me the discussion on whether or not a 380 is an adequate round. That's not what we're talking about today. Problem I discovered with this gun is actually the magazine, not the gun itself. Here we have, just to make sure, unloaded, double check, stand by. Just so we're verified that it's clear. The issue is, in these magazines, and I have 3 Ruger magazines, one that came with the gun, 2 that I purchased the same day that I purchased the gun, and they're all actual Ruger made in USA magazines. Alright? This one, the one that works, I don't know how well you can see it. Try to get the light there just right. But in the seating notch where the magazine latches into the magazine release in the firearm itself, there's just a little notch. I think you can see that there. Maybe not. Anyways, there is a little notch on the top of that cutout in the magazine. These 2, which are also Ruger magazines, don't have it. And when we go to seat a round, or seat a magazine, which I'm going to attempt to show you now, while also holding the camera. So, this magazine, no problem, seats and latches. The other 2, however, do not. And that could be a problem in a gunfight. So I've found if you take down to only 2 rounds in the magazine, it'll latch. And if you can see the difference there, the one on camera left, I think you can see that little notch is in the groove there, but this magazine doesn't have it. And it doesn't matter if there's a round chambered, there's not a round chambered. These other 2 magazines will only seat if there's 2 rounds or less in the magazine. So you're not really getting an adequate reload. So what we're going to try to do today is file these notches out just a little bit so it has that same cutout shape on the top. I left the rounds in there. I was hoping you could see it in the camera, but my 10-year-old camera, 780p or whatever it is, 720, I don't think you can quite see that. Alright, maybe you can see them better now that they're unloaded. You can see this magazine here clearly has that extra notch cut out of the groove, and the one on your left, camera left, does not. So all we're going to do is get a file in there and make that bigger. Alright, so I've chosen the triangular flat side file because I believe I can get it in there a little better, but I don't know. The problem is there's no real room to file, and I think I need to take off a lot more than that, so we may be stepping up to the Dremel tool. So for the Dremel tool, I was able to pick up 3 boxes, I think for like 15 bucks, or not even, I think it was like 9 or 10 bucks. 3 boxes of those, and there's all different kinds of grinding tools. Round ones, square ends, tapered ends, pointed ends, ball ends. This one I'm going with, if you can see it there, going with that end. That's going to make a difference, just that tiny bit. May need to go just a little more on the front to make it exactly like the other one. Looks good. Now, we don't want any burrs left on either the inside or the outside. So I'm back to the hand flat file just to make sure there aren't any burrs there, which I don't think there are. That little Dremel tool is pretty. Those bits were well worth the money. $10 and can do pretty technical work. So, empty magazine test. Seats perfectly, ejects perfectly. Seats perfectly, ejects perfectly. See what happens after we load the magazine back up. 6 rounds of 380, full magazine, no round in the chamber. Seats perfectly. Ejects perfectly. Seats perfectly. Ejects perfectly. Now I'm going to put one in the chamber, top off the magazine, see what happens. Live round in the chamber, 6 rounds in the magazine, seats perfectly, ejects perfectly. Seats perfectly, ejects perfectly. Problem solved. If you can see that little uneven notch, there's just a little bit of a curve in the top of it. And just that curve makes the difference. There, you can kind of see it right there. You don't have that curve in there, it's not going to seat. And look at this one magazine I haven't done yet. There's still rounds in this magazine, but you can see Ruger cut that straight across there. And I don't know why they did that. They're all Ruger magazines. The one that came with the gun had that notch cut in it. The 2 I bought separately didn't. And they're Ruger magazines. I don't know if you can see their logo etched in there. You kinda can. Happy shooting.